All right, folks, XRP is getting utility. This is what we've been waiting for. Not only do we get to hold our XRP and wait for it to go to 589, but we can start to generate a little bit of yield in the meantime. And as we've shown you guys with Flare, with some of these other projects, you've had huge run up in price, but folks don't sell off. They keep on rolling it on to delegating, staking, and with the AMM, it's a different function. We are going to be providing liquidity. And this is one of the utilities that is coming to the XRP ledger in less than 10 days now. March 13th, 2024 is today's date. And we are waiting for the update to go live on March 22nd is when the AMM is going to be enabled. Now, this is just one of many amendments that's being brought live now on the XRP ledger that's adding additional capabilities and functions to the ledger that's already remained robust for over 10 years as cheap, fast, and efficient payments. In and of itself, that's a huge utility and solves a massive problem, right? But the ability now with clawbacks, which have been enabled, we get the AMM next, and this is the utility trifecta. Huge shout out to Vet, one of the validators. He coined this term, the utility trifecta of AMM, right? And then we get the cross-chain bridge XLS38D interoperability with all of the other chains. So although we don't have smart contracts on the XRP ledger, right? We can connect to Flare, we can connect to Zahao, we can connect to Ethereum through the EVM sidechain, right? And then the final one is going to be XLS40D, and that's not actually the final one. That's just the finishing off of the utility trifecta there that are already being voted on as we speak. But there's also additional amendments on the way, like price oracles, that are going to be massive as well. Decentralized identity is going to be massive because for regulated institutions, they need some of them need clawbacks, and some of them need to do KYC. And so being able to do on-chain KYC in a decentralized way, this is what we've been hoping and praying for as far as decentralized identity, where we're not talking about the dystopian future of CBDC and control systems. We're talking about you actually have control over what data you're going to allow to get shared. So it's a very interesting idea. I'll talk more on that later, but I want to share a few data points, and then we'll get right on into the utility that's coming with the AMM. Going to be massive. Now, I want to give everyone a quick warning that we do have a fantastic show coming up here today with Steven Narioff, the Ethereum whistleblower, and it's going to be hosted by Rob Cunningham. Make sure you guys go follow myself and Rob over on Twitter, and we're going to see this one. But Steven Narioff coming in here today. The show is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Shares another article which features him, and he says, as SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, faces significant jail time, he has presented numerous pleas for a reduced sentence, all while showing no remorse for the investors he harmed. It seems that an example might need to be set. Grateful to Coinpedia News for the unwavering support. Enjoy another insightful article featuring yours truly. So, love to see that, and I'm looking forward. This is going to be, we're hoping to spread this one worldwide, a global broadcast of truth and an effort to save the capital markets in the United States of America. That's what this is about, right? All we ever wanted was a level playing field. We don't care to see Ethereum go down. We don't care to see any of these projects go down. We just want a level playing field. So really looking forward to that one. Once again, that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight over on Rob Cunningham's channel. Now, speaking of someone else who has no remorse, let's talk about Janet No Tellin' Yellen now regretting saying that inflation was transitory. Take a listen in on this one, folks.
In 2021, you did say that inflation was transitory. Do you regret saying that now?
I regret saying it was transitory. It has come down, but I think transitory means a few weeks or months to most people.
Well, it doesn't matter what the technical definitions are. It doesn't matter what they teach in Economics 101. Let's just rewrite the definitions. If it doesn't make us feel warm and fuzzy inside, who cares? And, does she care that the inflation hasn't been transitory and American people continue to struggle? I don't see one sign of sympathy shown by Janet Yellen right there. And as we were saying when they said this, when her and Jerome Powell all came out and they started saying and using the word transitory, we said this is going to be a big mistake because it's not, and it hasn't. And as we got from the data yesterday, inflation is nowhere near their 2% target. And for the last 2 months, it's actually ticked back up. So now we're trending the other way. While she wants to say that inflation's cooling, right? And yeah, I'm sorry, I regret saying it was transitory. She didn't say sorry. She just said she regrets it. I do think that they not only owe the American people an apology, it's time to step down and move out of the way because, they've just failed at their job completely. Or is their job, is the agenda to squeeze out the middle class of America and transfer the wealth to the elitist buddies that they have? I'll let you guys let me know in the comments down below. Wanted to show you here on the charts, we have the DXY, which is broken down, right? And we did get a breakdown further here today to 102 for the DXY. And we have the market having a little bit of time now to react to the hot inflation that's coming in, and the dollar is selling off because inflation's running hot, and it's going to become, down to the decision here with Jerome Powell. Can he cut rates? When is he going to be able to cut rates? Does he need to raise them further? Some people like Peter Schiff suggesting that he actually needs to raise them further. And I think that he does if he actually wants to achieve the 2% target. But doing what they do, they'll just move the target, they'll move the goalpost, and they keep on doing this time and time again. For the SPY, the S&P 500, we're chasing all new time highs. Same thing for the Dow Jones. These things are pushing up towards all-time highs, and the NASDAQ lagging a little bit. But you can see here the major stock indices all moving back up, and the DXY falling back down. And we have crypto did pump this morning. Bitcoin went to a new all-time high, and it's pretty exciting here. We're in a moment in time here where Bitcoin just keeps printing new all-time highs. Now, we did get the XRP price action. That was fantastic to see, and now we're starting to see some whale movements. 140 million XRP transferred from Ripple to an unknown wallet. So we got some big XRP moving around. We had some big price action the other day, and we're going to be continuing to watch this one as we have a big, massive amount of utility that is coming to the XRP ledger that has me incredibly bullish. And the reason why is because this gives folks a reason to hold the coin, not just buy now and sell at $5, not just buy now and sell, later on down the road, but the ability for folks to get a yield generated from their XRP working for them. Now, people want to get lost in the technical nuance, the definitions on, is this passive income or not? Disregard that crap. Anybody who wants to get caught up on arguing that BS, they're not going to make it. They're not going to maximize this opportunity, the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, and you're sitting around with your thumb up your you-know-what, arguing and debating definitions. Let's not play around and let's get rich. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. I'm not here to debate and confuse the facts, You're putting your XRP in a liquidity pool and it's spitting off a yield. You're not breaking a sweat. That's about as passive as it gets as far as I'm concerned. But the Twitter police, So with that being said, I just wanted to show a couple data points here to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what this AMM is, what it's going to be doing, and how it's going to be spitting off a yield if you choose to participate from Panos. The XRPL AMM will be a game changer. So you see this little cycle that we have right here. We have the liquidity attracts traders. And so the volume, right, this trading volume is going to lead to fees generated for the liquidity providers. The fees enable higher liquidity pool returns, and the liquidity pool returns sustain liquidity and incentivize more people to provide liquidity. So we got this revolving, flywheel effect almost of XRP and other issued assets or tokens on the XRPL that'll go into these liquidity pools. And as these fees just keep on getting spit out, and the more volume and the more volatility that we get, the more yield that will be generated from those fees. Okay, so as we go into this bull run, I believe this is a perfect time to get that AMM going. It's not something where I'm going to put all of my XRP into this. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do or give you financial advice. But I am going to put some in, right? This is kind of one of those plays where, okay, this is one rental property. This is one real estate investment that's going to spit out a yield, right? This is how I view it, right? It's just one of the options that we have to use with our XRP. There's going to be many more utilities, many more things that we can do with our XRP, but this AMM providing liquidity for it is not staking. Some folks don't want to call it passive. That's fine. Okay. The technical function is you're selling off your XRP or your issued assets to go into that liquidity pool, and you're getting liquidity pool tokens in return. And that liquidity pool tokens represent your share of the liquidity pool. So, this is a way to hedge. What I did with the Stellar AMM is I added XLM and I added Stronghold to that liquidity pool. And it's a way to hedge between the two currencies. I don't mind holding Stellar and I don't mind holding Stronghold. And both are volatile. And so in that volatility, I'm generating that yield as that trading goes back and forth and the pool balances itself out. And so at times you'll have impermanent loss, right? But as long as you are able to hold and allow that liquidity pool, that AMM, to come back into balance, right? That impermanent loss is called impermanent because it's not guaranteed. It's not realized. It's the same thing as unrealized gains or unrealized losses in this regard, right? So this AMM is going to open it up. It's going to be massive. And, the thing about it is we've already seen the testing has gone through. They found a bug. They fixed the bug. Now we're going live here on March 22nd. But in their testing, they found that this AMM is going to be even better than some of the top AMMs in existence right now, like Uniswap. So just look at this one from David Fueling, who is an engineer at RippleX. He says, pretty cool. Quote, our evaluation results reveal that the XRPL AMM leveraging market volatility outperforms Uniswap in various areas, including slippage and impermanent loss reduction, the pace of price synchronization, and overall operational efficiency. So you still will have the opportunity for impermanent loss, but it is greatly reduced compared to the Uniswap. Reduced slippage, and because there's no mining and there's no proof of work or proof of stake, there's no front running either. So to me, it looks like this thing has advantages that are going to make it better than Uniswap. And you can see that this is part of why Ethereum has grown into the beast that it is. Not only did they get the Ethereum free pass, that helped, but the utility and all the tokens that were built on it, on top of and the liquidity pools and all the DeFi that's been created through Uniswap and other DeFi protocols built on top of Ethereum. This is the start, and XRPL hasn't had any of this available, right? We've had cheap, fast, efficient payments, a robust ledger that's great for payments. That's it. We don't have smart contracts. Doesn't look like we're getting smart contracts anytime soon, but we'll have the interoperability with other smart contract platforms, which I like. I like that setup. We keep our ledger nice and lean, mean, and focused on payments. And this is just making our DEX, this is just making payments on the XRPL more efficient is what the AMM's doing. And so it's really not adding that much more bulk to what the XRPL is doing, right? So comparing the, to other chains like Stellar just added smart contracts. We'll see how that works out. For the XRPL, you'll have the cross-chain interoperability through XLS38D once that goes live. And this is where we'll be tapped into the EVM sidechain, where you can settle any EVM smart contract using XRP as a gas fee or a gas token. Or you could tap into Zahao, you could tap into Flare, and it keeps the smart contracts and bogging down the ledger isn't going to be a problem because all that's taking place outside of the XRPL, but you'll still have that interoperability. And then, as I mentioned, decentralized identity, price oracles is going to be huge. Once we get oracles, you can pull off-chain data and bring it on-chain, and you can use that for so many different use cases. And the oracle will allow us to tap into what Flare's doing, right? The Flare time series oracles, the series of validators over there that are all oracles and working to bring data on-chain. We'll be able to plug Flare into the XRPL oracle, and we also could plug in Chainlink as well, and any other oracles as well. So what I like about how we've set up ourselves here on the XRPL is our validators and the folks that are determining, the new amendments and utilities coming to the XRPL, we're making sure that we got our main job done and we keep on doing that right, which is payments that go through in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost, and our ledger doesn't go down. That's what we want to maintain while we add these additional capabilities, interoperability. And just like I've made the case with Flare just ran up massively in price, over 500% from the lows of 2022 to where it just went up to over 5 cents. And yeah, it sold off a little bit, but you see their communities not selling off or dumping their Flare. They're rolling it back into delegating, right? They keep on getting these rewards from delegating their Flare, and it's keeping them in Flare and keeping them in the ecosystem. Now we get the same thing taking place for the XRPL, and this is how we get sustained growth, right? We're waiting for regulations. I think a large part of what's going to drive this market forward is going to be the Fed responding to whatever crisis takes place this year, Fed turning back on the money printer. That's bringing more liquidity. But then we also get more liquidity coming in from the ETFs. In this morning's session, I titled it $40 trillion tipping point. That was the Grayscale CEO talking about how managed money is, there's still tens of trillions waiting to come into this space. And so when we get additional ETFs and ETFs for XRP and ETFs that are baskets of cryptocurrencies, right? This is all adding to my bullish thesis, my investment thesis for this bull run for XRP, and why I still remain so bullish. While many people are disregarding it and predicting that XRP is going to miss this bull run, I just see more fundamentals than any other cryptocurrency project in the space, more real world adoption from people that matter, and additional utilities coming that they haven't had at all. We haven't had this at all on the XRPL, and we're finally getting it. So I'm going to remain bullish. I'm going to keep my bag stuff pack, and you guys let me know what you're going to be doing in the comments down below. If you appreciate what we do, if you could please make sure you like this video, share it out far and wide. Everything's at my website, zachrector.com, and I will see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on Rob Cunningham's show. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.